Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Learning and Interaction with Ms. Aisha Khadir. So today we are going to discuss important topics related to O levels and IGCSE biology. So today's topics are types of transport across the cell, comparison between active and passive transport, example of active and passive transport, and comparison between diffusion and osmosis. Then we will start some past papers question. So starting with the concept that we have to cover today, active and passive transport today. So there are two types of transport, active transport and passive transport. Now the question is that why we need to transport substances across the cell. Like when you talk about any cell, let's suppose here I am drawing a cell here. Let's suppose this is your cell. This is the animal cell. Okay, so the outer layer is the cell membrane and all the transport is occurring through this cell membrane. Okay. Now the cell membrane is the semi-permeable layer. It will allow some gases like oxygen should move in, but carbon dioxide should move out. It means this is one type of transport and it is required for the survival of the cell because oxygen is required for cellular respiration. For its survival, cell also need nutrients. So nutrients should enter inside the cell and waste material should move outside the cell. So it means we need multiple type of transport. Some hormones should enter, some hormones should release out. So it means we need transport all the time for the survival of the life, for the different metabolic reactions. So what we are saying that we have two types of transport, active transport and passive transport. Now, first of all, we are talking about passive transport. First of all, we are talking about passive transport. What is passive transport? Passive transport is the type of transport in which substance move from their high concentration to low concentration. Okay. So substance move from their high concentration to low concentration. So we are saying that substance move down their concentration gradient, down their concentration gradient. And for this transport, no need of energy. For this transport, no need of energy. Simple. Let's suppose we are observing here. Let's suppose this is the beaker. Let's suppose this is the beaker. Okay. Now this beaker having two parts, like this beaker having two sections. This is the partition. Okay. This is region A and this is region B. Okay. Let's suppose this substance. This could be any substance. Okay. Let's suppose we are considering that this is the oxygen. Okay. So oxygen is present in higher concentration here. This is oxygen. Okay. So oxygen is present in higher concentration here, while in lower concentration in region A. So what will be the direction of movement from B to A? The direction of movement from B to A. Okay. So substance move from their high concentration to low concentration down their concentration gradient. And for this transport, no need of energy is there. No need of energy is required. Okay. So there are two types of passive transport. When we talk about types of passive transport, types of passive transport. So there are two types of passive transport. There are two types of passive transport. Number one, we have diffusion. And secondly, we have osmosis. And secondly, we have osmosis. And both are the type of passive transport. So the basic concept is the same, that the substance move high to low concentration, down their concentration gradient, no need of energy is there. Okay. Then for passive transport, if I'm saying that no need of energy is there, no need of energy is required here, so it means this passive transport is the type of transport, especially when we talk about diffusion. So diffusion is the type of passive transport. It can be occur by cell wall, and it can be occur by cell membrane also. Why? Because it is just the random movement of substances. But when we talk about osmosis, so little bit difference in osmosis is there. For osmosis, we need cell membrane all the time. We need cell membrane all the time. Although this is the type of passive transport, energy is not required. But again, we need cell membrane. In further, I will discuss that why we need cell membrane for osmosis. Okay. For this, the concept is clear that first of all, substance move high to low concentration, down their concentration gradient, no need of energy is there. So different example of passive transports are there, like diffusion of gases, oxygen move in, carbon dioxide move out from our body. So this is the example. Diffusion of gases. Diffusion of gases is the example. Spreading of perfume in the room is the example here. Like you can say when you are putting tea bags in the hot water, so the content extraction, the extract of the tea will come out. This is also the example. Putting tea bag in hot water. So content move out by diffusion. Then simple spreading of a drop of ink in a water. So there are multiple examples of passive transport. Okay. Now we are talking about active transport. So first of all, we are taking the concept of active transport here. So what is active transport? Active transport is opposite of passive transport. So substance move from their low to high concentration. Okay. Substance move from their low to high concentration. So we will call it against their concentration gradient. Against their concentration gradient. And when the substance move from their low concentration to high concentration, so for this type of transport, energy is required. Energy is required. So when energy is required in this type of transport, so it can be only occur in the living cells. Like it could not occur in the xylem because xylem is not the living cell. It's not made up of living cell. So energy is all the time required. So it means cell membrane also required here. Because cell membrane having some special type of proteins which operate by energy, and they will change their shape, they will support in active transport. Okay. Then required cell membrane all the time. Let's suppose if this is the beaker, again I am showing you a beaker here. Again, this is region A and this is region B. Let's suppose this substance having high concentration in region A. Let's suppose this is nutrients. Okay. High concentration in region A while low concentration in region B. Instead of it, the direction of movement B to A. B to A, from low to high. And for this, we need energy. We need energy. Like this is the energy here. Okay. So we need energy in the form of ATP. What is ATP? ATP is the adenosine triphosphate and is the energy currency. It is the energy currency in our body. So during respiration, when energy generate, so this energy will going to be utilized for active transport also. So example of active transport, absorption of minerals by root hair cells, of minerals, absorption of minerals by root hair cells, and another example, absorption of nutrients from villi. Okay, so let's suppose if I am drawing the root hair cell here, this is, let's suppose, root hair cell. This is, let's suppose, root hair cell. This is root hair cell. So the root hair cell having high content of minerals. Like minerals are high here. But in the soil particles, like this is the soil particles which are surrounding it. Let's suppose these are the soil particles which are surrounding it. So soil having low concentration of minerals. Soil having low concentration of minerals. Soil having low concentration. But what is going on here? From the soil, minerals are moving inside. So this is the example of active transport. And for this, we need energy. So your root hair cell should have large number of mitochondria, okay, to produce energy. Then absorption of nutrients from lies also the example here. Like glucose is present high in the blood, low in the small intestine, but again from the small intestine, glucose is moving into the villi, into the blood capillaries which are present in the villi. So this is the example of active transport also. Then types of passive transport, diffusion and osmosis we are going to discuss about. As I told you that both are the type of passive transport, so the concept is again the same, low to high, no need of energy, down their concentration gradient. But now when we talk about a difference here, so diffusion is the random movement. Is the random movement of substances. Random movement. Any substance can move. Any substance can move. But in osmosis, there is not a random movement. It is only the movement of water. Okay, this is not a random movement. It's the only movement of water. Only movement of water from high to low concentration. And here we are using what potential here. Okay, it's only movement of water, high water potential, high water potential, high water potential to low water potential, to low water potential. So it's a random movement. Any substance can move. No need of any barrier. Okay, no need of barrier. Any substance can simply move. But here you need barrier here. Why you need barrier here? Because you are only allow water to move here. So semi-permeable barrier is required, which only allow water to move. Semi-permeable barrier is required, which only allow water to move. Okay. So it means diffusion can be occur by cell wall as well as cell membrane. Occur by cell wall or by cell membrane. But here, when we talk about osmosis, so all the time, as I told you, that cell membrane is required because cell membrane is the semi-permeable barrier here. It is the partially permeable barrier here. Okay. Cell membrane is all the time required. Cell membrane is required because cell membrane is acting like a semi-permeable or you can say partially permeable barrier. So simple, if I'm drawing the beakers here. Let's suppose if I am drawing this beaker, let's suppose, and again I am like mentioning two region A and region B. For example, this red substance having high concentration in region A while low concentration in region B. So this will move from A to B. And let's suppose we are saying that this blue substance having high concentration in region B while low concentration in region A. So it could be moved from B to A. So it is the random movement of substances. Any substance can move. But here the concept is little bit different. Different is there. Let's suppose this is the semi-permeable barrier. Let's suppose this is region A and this is region B. This is water. By blue color, I am showing water. And by yellow color, I am showing sugar. So now you can observe the size of the sugar. And now you can observe the size of the semi-permeable layer. Will this semi-permeable layer allow the sugar to move? No. It only allow water to move. Because water having very small size, while sugar having large size. So let's suppose water is high in region B. So only water will move. Only water will move. H2O will move from B to A. This sugar could not move, although it is high in region A, but it could not cross the semi-permeable membrane. So here the semi-permeable layer is there. Semi-permeable membrane is there, which is in your cell, which is cell membrane. Okay. Now I hope you understand the concept. So we will start past papers quickly. Active transport is the movement of what? Molecules from a region of their high concentration to the region of low concentration. No. Particles from a region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration using energy from respiration. Yes. Okay. So particles move from region of lower concentration to the region of higher concentration using energy from respiration. Option is B. Now, what does oxygen diffuse? Why does oxygen diffuse into the blood from an alveolus in the lungs? The oxygen, here the concept of diffusion is here. The oxygen concentration in the alveolus is greater than the carbon dioxide concentration in the blood. No. The oxygen concentration in the alveoli is greater than in the blood. The oxygen concentration in the blood is greater than in the alveolus. The oxygen concentration in the blood is greater than the carbon dioxide concentration in the alveolus. So, like where the oxygen is moving from an alveolus into in the lungs, from an alveolus in the lungs. So, oxygen concentration in the alveolus is greater than in the blood. So, it will allow oxygen to diffuse from alveolus into the blood. So, option is B. Because if oxygen concentration is greater in blood, so let's suppose if this is the blood, if let's suppose this is the blood, and let's suppose this is the alveoli, we are saying that oxygen is moving from alveoli to blood cells. Red blood cell will trap oxygen, so it should have higher oxygen concentration, it should have lower oxygen concentration, which is observing by point B, that alveolus having higher oxygen concentration, blood having lower oxygen concentration, so it will allow diffusion of oxygen. Okay. The diagram shows test tube containing clear jelly. A drop of blue ink is injected into the middle of the jelly. Okay. So the blue color of ink is spread throughout the jelly. By which process does the blue ink spread through the jelly? Simple. It is diffusion. Okay. Then, which causes the diffusion of oxygen into a plant cell? Yes. Active transport, no, because they are saying for diffusion. Movement of molecules, osmosis, photosynthesis, movement of molecules. It will allow diffusion. The diagram shows an experiment to demonstrate the movement of molecules. This is inverted, sorry. This is inverted Thistell funnel, beaker of water, red ink solution, permeable membrane attached to the funnel. After 1 hour, the water in the beaker turned red. Okay. The water in the beaker turned red, like this one is becoming red here. Now molecules of red ink move through the membrane by diffusion. Molecules of red ink move through the membrane by osmosis. Molecules of water move through the membrane by diffusion. Molecules of water move through the membrane by osmosis. They are saying that red ink is in the Thistell funnel and The beaker of water become red. It means red ink will move out. So water options, we will omit this options. Now option of red ink. Now red ink, it will move by diffusion or osmosis. This is not the water, it is red ink. So basically this red ink is moved by diffusion. So option is A. Because if water moves, so osmosis will be considerable. But if any other substance will move, it means it will diffusion, not osmosis. Then the diagram shows water and sugar molecule on either side of a partially permeable membrane. This is the membrane. Sugar molecule, you can observe the size of the sugar molecule here, and this is the size of water molecule. What happened during osmosis? Listen, osmosis only allow water to move. Water is higher here, so water will move from X to Y. Okay. Sugar option we will cancel. More water molecule pass through the membrane from X to Y than Y to X. It is moving from Y to X. So more water molecule pass through the membrane from Y to X than from X to Y. Yes, it is moving more Y to X. Okay, as compared to X to Y, because here the higher concentration of water is there, high potential of water is there. So more water will move X to Y. Okay, option is D. Then a jar of air was placed upside down on the top of jar containing a brown gas as shown. This is air, this is brown gas. After some time, this is the intermixing of both substances. Which process has been take place? Simple, it is diffusion, both in upward and downward direction, because air will intermix into the brown gas into the air. So it is diffusion, both in upward and downward direction. Now, the diagram shows an experiment on osmosis, which arrow shows the direction of net movement of water at the start of the experiment. Okay. This is partially permeable membrane. This is partially permeable membrane. This is water, and this is sugar solution. Okay. Now, this is water. Okay. This is water, and this is sugar solution. Now, water will move from high to low. High to low. It means inside this tube, inside this B, what is present? Sugar solution is present. It means here low water is present, and outside high water is present. So water will move inside first of all. So this is the B. Option B is the right option. Because here water will not move, because here inside the membrane water is there, outside the membrane water is there. There is no concentration gradient. So no movement of water will take place. But movement of water take place here from B to from this arrow B inside this glass tubing, because here this is the sugar solution, and outside the tube partially permeable membrane this is the water. So water will move from high to low water potential. So from B to inside, like option B is the right answer. Now the diagram shows two cells. The net movement of water is from cell X to Y. Okay, water is moving from cell X to Y. Then its water potential is higher in cell X, and active transport, no. Active transport could not possible. Water transport is higher in cell X and osmosis occur, yes. Option B is the right answer. Because lower could not happen, because we are talking about osmosis. Water all the time moves by osmosis. So it should have high water potential, it should have low water potential. So water move from high water potential to low water potential. Okay, by osmosis. So cell X having high water potential, then cell Y. Is it clear? Now, the data show the result of investigation on osmosis using sticks of potato. This is the concentration of sugar solution. This is the length of the potato at the start and after 24 hours. Which statement explains the change in length? The length is decreasing. It means water moving outside, because what we are talking about osmosis. So it means movement of water is considerable. Movement of water. So movement of water into the cell, no. Movement of water into the cell, no. Movement of water out of the cell, yes. The sugar solution has the high water potential than the potato cell, no. The sugar solution has low water potential than the potato cell, yes. That's why water will leave the potato cell now. because sugar solution has low water potential as compared to the potato. Let's suppose if this is the strip of potato, if this is the strip of potato, and let's suppose this is the sugar solution. This is the sugar solution. So the mass of potato is decreasing. It means water is moving out. Water is
I hope you understand the lecture. Please like and subscribe my YouTube channel.